Students often ask me, how do I organize my material to get to a paper in its final form? The question people ask after they begin collecting sources and reading articles and books is, how do I get from a pile of stuff to a finished paper? Well, I hope to be able to help you with that in the video segment. Some people use note cards, and the old-fashioned system, the little 3x5 note cards or 5x7 note cards, you take your notes by hand and then re-enter those into, at some point, a word processing software and produce a final paper. The problem with that is that you are probably a non-traditional student. You have a full-time job, a family to take care of, and I find that the problem with the note cards is that it doubles your time. You have to hand write them, then you have to spend the time taking the notes that you made on the note card and entering it into a word processing program. So I recommend beginning with a computer program, and I'm going to show you in just a moment how it is that I build a notes file. But remember, when you're writing a paper, the thing that regulates what you do and focuses your research is the thesis and the outline. So always keep that as your side, and as you read a source, think, how does this source address my outline? How does it address my thesis? And where might the information from this source fit in my outline? Or I might be able to take more than one piece of information from the source and apply it to different parts of my outline. But filter the information you look at. You don't have time to look at everything. So look at that. And now we're going to take a look at how to build the word processing file. Okay, here you see my Word file that I've built, and you see the numbers. I've numbered it 1 through 3. And beyond that, I put the page numbers. Don't forget to do that. But these corresponding numbers I put here allow you to trace the segments of information you pull from each source back to its original when you cut them apart. So you'll have that information for your footnote or your parenthetical reference. Now for this step of the process, once you have your computer file made, is organizing your notes into what will be the rough draft of the paper. Supplies you'll need for this step are a removable glue stick. These are put out by Avery and 3M. Scissors, a pen, and just plain old computer paper. Finally, you'll need a 3-ring binder. What I do is I print the file, and then after I have printed it, I get all of the small children and pets out of the way. That's a very important part to this process, especially if you have a lot of notes. You're going to need lots of table space or floor space to spread everything out. Then after I have cut the borders off of the paper, I actually cut apart each segment, each part of the notes in the file that I built. And I lay out each one of those segments on the floor, so they come out looking like this. Then I take the paper, and I might write my paper with just the word introduction on it, and then I look through my little pieces of paper to see what segments of notes I've taken might fit in my introduction, and I begin to just lay those on the page. Same thing for each major point of my paper. Then after I have all the major outlines points laid out with just the white paper like I've written intro here, I'll make one of these for each outline point. Then I begin to think about, once I have all the pieces of paper laid on there, what order they might go in, what would be the best order for the logic to flow. Then use a removable glue stick to actually stick the segments in place like I've done here. And I say removable glue stick because a permanent glue stick is hard to move, and if you change your mind about the order of things, you may need to change it later. So removable glue stick. So you can move those wherever you want to and then put them back in place. Once you get the notebook constructed, then it's a matter of cutting the sources from your original computer file, and pasting it in to a file that you formatted either in APH, Arabian MLA, or whatever style you happen to be using. So that's the way I organize a paper. One of my students in the past has called this the Beautiful Mind method for organizing a paper. A little play on the movie A Beautiful Mind. But I hope this has been helpful to you in organizing your sources. Thanks.